a world of AI, are we losing some human connection? Well, we're technically and technologically more connected than ever, and yet more disconnected from each other and ourselves at the same time.
So our next guest has 3 simple shifts to help you connect authentically and also to stand out at work. Welcome now to Executive Communications Expert Jessica Abo. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
AI is helping us a lot. We've started to lean into it and embrace it, but you're wondering all the time, is this like a human connection I'm making, or is this a robot?
I mean, look, let's be honest, it's really helpful if it can give a grocery list in seconds or plan your vacation for you, but it still can't tell me if my kiddo had a good day or a bad day at school when she gets in the car. So I do think for efficiency, it's really important, but in a world where people are fearful of their jobs, I think it's important to remember that we still need one another.
Yeah, that's good.
And you have a framework, a 3-part framework to help us with that. What is the first part?
The first part is hold the salt. And we were talking earlier about how your son made you lunch the other day, but imagine he made you dinner and before taking one bite, you just put salt all over it. He would probably feel crushed. So when I talk to leaders about holding the salt, what I mean is lead with curiosity instead of judgment. Because if you don't ask questions to get to the whole story, you can jump to conclusions. And when we do that, we break connection, and that's not what we're going for. And like our words, we can't take them back. So it's not like we can take that salt and scoop it back up and put it back in the shaker. So try to lead with curiosity first.
Especially when those words are critical. We hold on to that, the criticism, so much more than the praise.
Always.
It's what we replay in our heads. Why should you speak in headlines? What does that mean?
So being in the news business, you know, if it bleeds, it leads. So we always start with the most important news of the day. But if you're going to have a hard conversation or even a hard conversation with a friend, it doesn't always have to be work related. Start with the facts, not the emotions, and let people know what it is you want them to know. Ask yourself, what do I want someone to know after I'm done talking? Why is this information important? And then what are the next steps? Because if I were covering a news story back in the day, and I just said, oh, there's been an accident, Ellen, back to you, that wouldn't tell our viewers anything, and I would not have been very good at my job. Exactly.
Right. Yeah. What I'm hearing you say is be intentional. Right? And then you're breaking it down. But that's a really good point. We don't always do that. We just do things and we're not intentional. Now, the third part you say is share your story.
Now, some people get nervous when they hear this one because they think, share my story. I don't even have a story, or who would want to hear my story, or do I need to air my dirty laundry in public? The answer is you don't have one story, you have hundreds. Yes, people do want to get to know you and hear about you. And no, you do not need to air your dirty laundry. But I was recently talking with someone who said his team was going through a really tough time, and it reminded him of his college football days when his coach would say, offense or defense, we wear the same uniform. So I said, start with that story instead of starting with statistics. And now his team, every time they see his alma mater play, send him a text. So be real, be relatable, but let people in.
Okay, so we are embracing AI, or trying to. Why is human connection, doing this, so important, even when we can probably avoid something like this?
Well, at the end of the day, we know that being lonely is as bad for our health as smoking up to 15 cigarettes a day. And I think in a world where we can be on our phones all day long and we can be emailing and texting and TikToking, it's still not the same as human connection. We've been friends for 3 years. We've been doing this for 3 years. I moved
emailing, though.
Yeah, we've been emailing. I think I moved into our house and set up something to do a makeshift Zoom interview with you the next morning. But before you left, I had to come in person and wish you all the best. And it's just not the same. So
no, this helps a lot. I was excited to get to finally meet you in person, because you're emailing, but this makes it just so much more personal.
Absolutely.
Especially in this technology world.
Before we go, do you have any quick tips for example, parents of teens, because that's their world now, right? So they're young and they're coming up in this AI world. Any tips to kind of just keep them grounded to connection of humans?
Spend time with them, ask them questions that AI can't read for you or ask for you, or if you need to, say, I'm having a hard time with my teenager, they're not opening up, this is what's going on, give me one simple question. Maybe AI can help you with that prompt, but at the end of the day, we want kids who run to us when they make mistakes, not from us. We want kids who feel seen and heard, valued and understood, and the only way we can do that is to be one-on-one with them.
Great advice.
You say that all the time, and you do that, Elaine.
I try.
Okay, we clearly need more to learn from Jessica, so you can find her at jessicaabo.com. Thank you for being here. Great to meet you again. And Great Day Washington. We'll be right back.